Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And in the video attached, and this is a shout out to Jurgens, thank you Jurgens, we will see one Pieter Groenewald from Freedom Front Plus, who was the big winner in the elections. He's now one of the big five. He's only got about 3% of the vote, but he's double the size of his party. Quite extraordinary. And he raises some very interesting points. Please enjoy the video and remember to subscribe to be kept informed and ring the bell and have a great evening.
One big winner in this election is certainly the Freedom Front Plus, and Aldrin Sampier is on the floor with the leader of the Freedom Front Plus. Aldrin Sampier, Pieter Groenewald must be the happiest man in this building right now.
Mr. Groenewald, let me ask you, Pieter Groenewald, are you the happiest man in this room right now?
What would you think?
No, you tell me.
For sure. I mean, if you look at what happened in this election, we did the best of all the political parties. We are now part of the big five parties in South Africa. Yes, I know we're not the elephant, but we are part of the big five.
I have to say that it is extraordinary that the Freedom Front Plus has been able to grow twofolds, more than 100%. Double the numbers that the Freedom Front Plus got in 2014, now sitting at 364,000 of the votes, and the numbers are still coming in.
Yes, I'm very delighted as far as that is concerned, and I want to thank the voters of South Africa who voted for the Freedom Front Plus. But I also want to thank my team. They worked very hard, long hours, and they did their best. And I always say in Afrikaans we talk about the A difference, the A verskil. That means that in the Freedom Front, the people work for the saak, for the case and the cause of the party, not for the pocket, nie vir die sak nie. Ons werk vir die saak, nie vir die sak nie.
In Gauteng as well, Freedom Front Plus, with the numbers still coming in, around 20% of the votes that we are still waiting to come in. Already the party has already doubled the numbers as well that they got back in 2014. In 2014, the Freedom Front Plus had 58,000 votes, now sitting at 132,000 votes. I have to say, I've never seen anything like this in an election where a party is able to grow its seats double-fold.
Well, I think they give a very strong message, because the Freedom Front Plus said that we do not apologize for who and what we are. We say that, yes, we are a minority, and we said that we don't want special treatment in South Africa. We want equal treatment. We want justice also for the minority groups in South Africa. And this is a message, and I will convey that message, and I will strongly emphasize that message in Parliament to say even minority groups, they want to build South Africa. So just treat them fair and just, because then we will create a better future. And I said, we must stop trying to fight for a better past. Let's fight for a better future.
But when we speak about a better future, how do we speak about a better future when you still identify groups as minority groups?
Minority group is a reality, whether you like it or not. I mean, even the United Nations recognize minority groups. And I mean, there's no use in politics to be like an ostrich putting your head in the sand. That's a reality. And if you look, for instance, Professor Samuel Huntington, the guru of international politics, he said in the future, minorities will have to be protected by the tyranny of the majority. So that is in the front of modern international politics. And we experience it. It's not a theoretical issue. That is what is happening in South Africa. And therefore, we must start stopping to apologize, to say, but you're referring to minority groups. That's a reality. And someone must come to the fore and say, listen, they also have rights. And the Freedom Front Plus said from the start, we will stand up for the rights of all minority groups.
Is this not the rise of Afrikaans nationalism?
Well, if you say nationalism, if people want to be proud on who and what they are, and that's what I said when I became the leader of the Freedom Front Plus, I appeal to the people. You must become proud on who and what you are. I said at all my campaigns, we must not allow the ANC to define us. You are who you are. Whether you're Zulu, a Xhosa, a brown person, an Afrikaner, be proud of who and what you are. Nationalism must not be seen as polarizing. It is to be proud on who and what you are. And I do not apologize for that.
Where do you think you got these votes from?
Well, of course, the majority of our supporters are the white people of South Africa. We also got quite a lot of votes from the brown people.
From the black people?
No, brown people.
From the black people?
No, that's your definition.
So you identify black people in South Africa as brown people?
No. You go and look at the Equity Bill or the Equity Act. The Equity Act defines race in South Africa. So it refers to blacks, and it refers to coloreds, and it refers to Indians. That's a fact. That is an act of the ANC. So when I talk about groups, I'm not colorblind.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the brown community, specifically concentrated also in the Western Cape. Yes, you have the black people in South Africa, that's also true. And there's nothing wrong with that. So what I say is that the minority groups, and they have rights. If you look at the government at this moment, I also want to say that accusing the white people for everything that's going wrong in South Africa is totally unacceptable. But to come back, yes, we also have black voters. We will get the figures of the supporters out of Soweto. I was approached by many black people in South Africa said, we're going to vote for the Freedom Front Plus. And you know why? Because I said you are correct when you say they must abolish black economic empowerment because we don't get that benefit.
Do you think you got any of the votes from the DA?
There's no doubt about that. Took quite a lot of the voters from the DA, and we knew that is going to happen, and the DA themselves knew that.
How did you know it? How did you know that you're going to get votes from the DA?
In our campaign, and even before the campaign, quite a lot of people came to me and said, listen, I always voted for the DA. I'm now going to vote for the Freedom Front Plus. The last month, I received...
Did they tell you why?
Yeah, well, firstly, they say you, the only person who are standing up for our minority rights. But they also said, and you do it with respect. And that is, I think, the most important matter in South Africa, that we must have respect also for our differences. Secondly, they also said that you've got a clear policy. You are telling us what you really want and how you're going to do it. Whereas I think specifically as far as the DA is concerned, they were vague. Therefore, you got some political analysts that refer to the DA as ANC light. They want to say with the black people, they want to get their support, they say one thing, but when they come to the white supporters, then they say something different. So because of that, they paid a dear price. And I say, in politics, the time has come that we must be honest towards the voters. Tell them where you want to go, and if they want to support you, be thankful for that.
Pieter Groenewald, just one quick question. Currently, you're now the fourth biggest party here in Gauteng. Possibilities are that the ANC could be pushed below the 50% plus one. Do you have you envisaged as the Freedom Front Plus whether you'd want to go into any coalition with any of the other political parties?
Well, we have a history, we have got a track record. If you look at the 2016 election, we are officially in coalitions with the DA, the UDM and all those political parties. So I said, we are open for coalition politics. In fact, I said that is the future of South African politics. But I also said that the preconditions of that coalition must be very clear, and then coalition partners must comply to that. We must not just think, yes, after we've had an agreement to be a coalition partners, then just disregard the other partners. That is also not, that's totally unacceptable.
Pieter Groenewald, thank you so much for your time. The happiest man in the room. The party has managed to double the numbers here in the province, in Gauteng. They've also managed to double the numbers in on the national ballot. So certainly the party goes back to parliament with more seats, and it will certainly have more seats in this province as well. And as you've just heard, that the Freedom Front Plus is open to talks on coalitions.